Hello friends, welcome to a new video of Python series. The thing is, if you are watching my previous videos of my Python series, I clearly said there that I will guide you to learn Python in a very simplistic way. So I have to explain all those things in detail. As much as I can remember that I printed hello world at the end of the previous video of my Python series. I did my code inside my Pycharm IDE. That makes sense to ask me why we need an IDE. See, IDE refers Integrated Environment Development. In our coding field, we developers use an IDE to write, manage and execute code while running our applications. It makes sense the development process much easier by abstracting different aspects of editing code standalone program. You know what? About the Pycharm, where we will write and run our code was not clearly defined by me because the previous video was only for installation purposes. In today's video, I will show you how to manage your Pycharm IDE step by step. And one more thing, if you have not installed Python and Pycharm IDE yet, then click on the I button. I will provide you the installation video link, both of them. So now let's get started. Hello friends, this is AK and you are watching Stack Bounty YouTube channel. First of all, I have to change the theme of my Pycharm editor. You don't require to change your theme. I love the dark theme, but for the video purposes, I prefer to use IntelliJ theme. In Pycharm, we have the feature that you can change the theme according to your choice. But how? See, go to File option, that is top left corner of your screen. Now click on Settings. A new dialog box appears as you can see on the screen. Go to Appearance and Behavior. Inside Appearance section, here you will get a theme option as shown. The Darkula theme is preset as by default. Now click on the drop down menu bar. Select the theme that you want to use and then click on Apply button. Here I have selected IntelliJ Lite just for the tutorial series so that my code will be visible to you easily. As you click on Apply button, the theme gets changed. Now click on OK button. At this stage, I have successfully changed the Pycharm theme. Let me know in the comment section if it's look weird. Now let's try to understand the graphical user interface of Pycharm. I will not show the whole features of Pycharm in this video. I will show as much as you need to learn the Python series, because if I want to define all the features of Pycharm in this video, the video will be much longer. If you want a detailed video on Pycharm, then let me know in the comment section. For now, let's create another Python project. See, I have already created a Python project and Python file on my previous video. I want to create another Python project file for your better understand. To create a new project, click on File option. That's top left corner of your screen. Now select New Project. You can give it any name. I am giving Stack Bounty. See the path. Basically, this is the directory where your project will be saved. After file location, a option visible to you like virtual environment. Basically, you don't require to have the knowledge about the virtual environment for now. However, I am telling you its functionality in short. Okay? See, the main purpose of virtual environments is to manage settings and dependencies of a particular project regardless of other Python project. For now, we will not do any customization on it. Let it be by default. As we move forward towards the advance in this series, we will discuss more about that things. At this point, one more thing we have to do is just uncheck the create a main.py welcome script checkbox. Actually, we don't require to have the main.py file. Now click on create option. Now choose this window. Now wait for few minutes. Done. we have created the project. Now let me show you where my project have created. Now click on project. That's on your right sidebar. Now let the cursor on project file. As shown, my Stack Bounty project file have created in this location. Now let's create a Python file inside our project file. To create a Python file, simply do a right click on your project file. In my case, the name of my Python project is Stack Bounty. Now let your cursor on new option. From here, choose the Python file option. Then give it a name. You can give any name. In my case, I am giving it first Python program. After enter the name, hit the enter button. As shown in right section, we will write our code and opposite to this section, file and directories over there. But one thing is missing there. Not actually missing, but inactive. I know you guessed the right one. That's our run button. You know what? When you create a new project, you have to take care of these things. You know, here the problem is configuration is not done yet. So I have to add configuration to run and debug our programs. Before we move forward, let me clear one thing. If you are using the previous project, then you don't need to add configuration. But if you have created a new project with me in this video, then you can follow the next step. Okay? Now, to add configuration, simply click on Add Configuration here. As shown, a new window appears. In the left side, click on Add New and choose Python from here. Here, rename it as your Python file name. In my case, I am giving to it first Python program. A option visible to you like script path. Here you have to put the script's path. Now how can you get the script's path? If you remember that we have installed Python in our previous video. First of all, we have to navigate Python that's already installed in our computer. Now click on Windows search bar and search for System Environment Variables. Now click on Environment Variables. A new dialog box will appear. From here, you can get the location where your Python is installed. So let's go towards that location of Python file. Then get into the Python file. And here you can get the file scripts. Open the file by double clicking on it. Now do a single click on here and copy the full path and paste inside the script path in your Pycharm. Then we don't need to set the interpreter here. It's automatically detect. Now simply click on apply. Then OK. Done. As shown, now our run and debug button both activated. From now, we can start our coding journey. Now let's write the code. Print hello world. Now click on the run button. As soon as you click on the run button, an output screen will appear. Here you can see our output, hello world. As I said in previous video that we use the print function to print anything. Now let's move towards the variables. What is variable in Python? In a simple word, variables are used to store a value. Let me create a variable like x equals 5. One more thing, Python has no command for declaring a variable. You can imagine variables are the container for storing data values. In this case, x is the variable name and 5 is the value that we have assigned to it. You can also store a name to this variable like name equals Alisa. have you any idea what I did to this print statement and the variable x? Actually, I comment out two of them. Now the question arises, what is comments? You know, comments can be used to explain Python code. This is my print statement, okay? And what it will do? It will print hello world. Let's say I am a coder. I am building an application. Imagine there are 100 and 1000 lines of code in my project. And this print statement is one of them. When another program read my code, how he will understand why I write this print statement? At this time comes out the image of comments. Let me remove these things for now. Here we have just the print statement. It will print hello world, alright? Now I am entering here what our print statement will do. Let's say this statement will print hello world. Now if I want to run this program, what do you think? That will be alright or anything else? What do you think? Let me know in the comment section, okay? Okay, let's see what comes out. Oops, it throws an error. It says syntax error in first line. Actually, you know, we can't write these things like this. We are not performing any execution on this line. Its job just to represent the functionality of the second line, that is print hello world. That's it. So now the question arises, how you can say to your Python interpreter not to execute the first line? Well, to ignore the first line, we have to comment out the line. See, comments start with has and Python will ignore them. If we enter has before this, that will become a comment and Python will ignore the whole line. Now, if I click on the run button, see, it's printing hello world. One more comment method we have, that is multi-line comments. For the implementation of multi-line comment, let me divide this line into small parts. You know, Python does not really have a syntax for multi-line comments. If I want to make these 3 lines multi-line comment, I have to insert has for each line like this. Now, if I click on the run button, the output remains same. As you can see on my screen, there are another way to make multi-line comments. Instead of using has, in every line, you can write your comments between the couple of 3 double quotes like this. In this case, our Python will ignore the multi-line comments. Now let's get back to the variables. Now let me create a variable here. X equals 9. Here, what is x? X is the name of the variable. 9 is the data which is stored into this variable. Okay? A little while ago, I said that we can store anything to this variable. Now, I am storing, let's say, Simran. Now, if I run this, oops, it's throw an error. It says name error. It means if we want to store a string into a variable, then we must have to use single or double quotes. But where? We have to take the string like this. Now, if I run this, it's totally fine. Now the question arises, what is a string? Now the data types comes into the picture. Well, today's video is quite long. We will learn about the data types on the next video. Also learn about the major fundamental topics in Python. If you have not yet subscribed to this channel, subscribe now to learn more about the Python. The next videos in this Python series are coming soon. Well, if this video is helpful to you, then give it a big thumbs up. You know what? Your one like might be inspired me to create the next video in more interesting way. Have a good time. Goodbye.